title game tomorrow in Atlanta. Number 1 Georgia and 3rd-ranked Alabama. How can the Tide knock off the unbeaten Bulldogs? ESPN's David Pollack.
I think their defense would have to play out of their mind. I think their offense has to change schematically. I don't think they can just do what they've been doing and run out of the shotgun. I think they need to go under center some. They need to play action more. They need to run the football more effectively than that. I think they need to go up tempo. So, you know what I'm saying, Greene? I'm saying late in the season, they're going to have to change who they've been and what they've been. That's hard to do. I know Nick will have a plan for it.
David Pollack on Get Up. The Trailblazers fire GM and President Neil.
We're back on Monday reacting to everything from Week 13 in the NFL. I'll give you my key observations at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Monday morning on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, right here on ESPN Radio.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. We, of course, encourage you to subscribe to the channel, join in the chat. You can join the House of Reprehensibles, and we are going to get you ready for all of the weekend's action on the gridiron. I mean, there is... I guess let's do this. Let's get this out of the way before we get into all of the football. Holy cow, did you see the game last night between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Well, that continued a long-standing tradition that when I am wrong, I am wrong, and when I am right, I am very right. Because I told you to bet the Memphis Grizzlies last night, minus the 9.5, and they won by 76.
It's a lot.
It's the biggest win in NBA history by 8 full points. They've been playing games for almost 100 years.
Right. Absolutely unbelievable. You texted me last night and said, hey, the score of the game is 146-64, and I went, there's no way that's true.
That's a lot to not much. That is the definition of a lot to not much.
Santi Aldama putting it on them last night. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know who that is. I'll be honest with you.
The Grizzlies had 9 players in double figures. They had 3 not in double figures, and one of them started.
Right.
He played 17 minutes. Congratulations.
We are live in the Ingles studio. Don't forget, you still got time to stop on by the Ingles on Smoky Park Highway for the Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive, benefiting Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. They encourage you to bring all the donations that you can down there. It doesn't matter how much you give. It matters that you give. And if you give a $10 donation, they'll give you a free car wash from Zips. You can enter into car washes for a year from Zips. You can also enter into a contest for a year's worth of gas or groceries from Ingles Supermarkets.
So many of our wonderful listeners stopped by. We met Chuck for the first time, and a long-standing listener of the show. I miss Jason Trump because I am a jerk, and I did not know he was there, and I feel like a complete bad word.
Right.
Michael Whiteside came and hung out with us.
Yep.
And I'll be back in the morning. So I will actually be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm friends with Lyric.
Yeah.
And she is playing, and this is the first time she has played even remotely close to my house. And not at night, because I'm old and I have to go Betty bus.
So they're all set up there in between the Ingles on Smoky Park and the Planet Fitness. They got a second, but of course we will always, as always, pick all of the games in the NFL, and we will set you up for all of the championship week action in college football coming up in the second hour of the program.
Jason Trump said I was chasing meat. I'm not going to lie. Joe Lasher Sr. and I have become quite good friends. He has a very impressive smoker trailer.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's really, it's in the words of our 42nd president, it's where wings take dream. It is the happiest place I think I have ever seen in my life, because there is nothing you cannot do with food on that particular vessel.
Right. He was like Bugs Bunny with the pie on the windowsill, just the hands of the aroma reaching him out and grabbing him by the nostrils.
Oh, you missed the best part, because I got through this morning because sports freak Brian Hall is with his dad. Thoughts and prayers with Brian and his family.
Absolutely.
And so I got there early to do breaks for ESPN. So I was there super early. He made breakfast sandwiches. I don't even know what was on. I don't know, and I don't care. He just looked at me and went, Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Oh man! But the Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway, the Ingalls Magical Christmas Toy Drive, benefiting Evelyn Charities St. Nicholas Project. They're out there until 9:00 tonight, so you can take donations by until then. And then, of course, it all reopens tomorrow morning, and they're going until 1:00 tomorrow afternoon. Joe Lasher, Caitlin Baker will be playing on the stage tonight and tomorrow. It's a whole lot of fun, and they've done a lot to spruce up that event.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, between the music, I ran into Jack Mascari, who, there are a lot of people in this town that work hard. I think he's in 46 bands. I think he's been in every band that I have seen in the last 6 months. And he is incredibly talented.
Absolutely.
I
go all the way back to the Caribbean Cowboy days. That's the Mascari brothers are legends.
He was walking in, and I didn't even ask, which band are you playing with? Because I knew he played with Lyric, but she didn't play till in the morning. So, hey, are you just going to play with all of them? Because you're talented enough to do that. There are very few things in this life that have ever blown my mind more than that. The guitar player that doesn't really actually even have to know the band, they just show up and do things. That is mind-boggling to me.
Takes a lot of talent. All right, let's get into it. It is time to play. Jeremy won. Jeremy wins, beat the Chief last week. And Chief, you're continuing to fall behind here, buddy. We got to get you on the winning path here.
Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for pointing that out.
Asheville Police Chief David Zach joining us here in the studio, and of course, Beat the Chief always brought to you by Clarissa Marshall of eXp Realty. Check her out at clarissasellswnc.com. All right, so I've got a 1-game lead for the season. Jeremy, he made up a game last week. It was a narrow victory for the Ginger Ninja.
Was it though?
You lost the torture ticket, so at least I've got that.
Yeah, you lost it the week before.
Yeah, that's true.
We got to pay that off. We have a lot of torture ticket paying off today.
yes, we do. But I got a 1-game lead for the season, and Chief, you're behind. I'm just going to say
Let's just leave it at that.
We'll just leave it.
We know I'm behind. You know I'm behind. Jeremy knows I'm behind.
Yeah, just don't do that thing I started doing last year. Like, I'll take the Jaguars plus 9 against the Patriots. Oh, and they lost by 40. I did that a few times last year.
I'm adopting a different strategy this week.
Okay.
I'm going, I'm just going with uniform colors that I like.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even looking at the
Which
spread.
mascot would win in a fight?
Yeah, that's... I don't think I can do any worse.
The New England Patriot. So is it the Patriot with his musket, or is it the Buffalo? Let's see which one's going to happen. That's the Monday Night Football game this week. So you gotta wait a little bit to give out your Bills pick. Where it's hot and spicy. We know it's going to be hot and spicy.
Yeah, hot take on the Bills game.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute before we get any further.
Okay.
We have to address 2 of these.
Okay.
We have one from our Canadian friend, our third on our fantasy football Sunday shows, who said, who wins more football games this year, the John Morantless Grizzlies or Cam Newton-led Panthers? See you Sunday. And what he's trying to say, I believe, the Grizzlies are quite possibly the biggest team I've ever seen in my life. They're not overly skilled, but they're really thick for a basketball team. And Kevin Vick said, Cam Newton, horrible game versus the Dolphins. ... Taysom Hill, hold my beer.
Uh-huh.
I'm your huckleberry.
2 super chats from our YouTube stream. I said something very similar to that on Twitter last night.
Absolutely. And remember the super chats. We are going to put that revenue into our donation with the competition for a cause and everything that we're trying to leverage as much money as possible as we can for the Ingalls Magical Christmas Toy Drive benefiting Eblin Charities at St. Nicholas Project. So all of this is for charity. So super chats in the YouTube stream, those go to charity as well.
Yes.
Throughout the toy drive.
Correct.
Let's get into this week's games in the NFL. 1 o'clock on Sunday. We have
I was about to say,
if my computer will go.
How long can you tap dance?
Yep.
I always know that Tank's computer's not working because he starts talking slower.
Minnesota's a 7.5-point favorite against the Detroit Lions. I took the Lions 2 weeks ago, and you guys laughed at me. I covered that game. Didn't take them last week, and they screwed me again.
Yeah, good job.
Winning by 2 against losing by 2 to the Chicago Bears. Minnesota's a different animal, though.
Are they, though?
Than the Chicago Bears?
Are they?
Yeah. I mean, you can keep saying that, but it's not going to change my response of, yes, they are a markedly different team.
I went 1 octave higher than I actually could go. Yeah, you're right. As the reigning, defending champion of this game, I will. I can start here, even though I feel like I know where you're going. I will be taking. I am so tempted to not do this. I'm taking Minnesota.
Okay.
I'm taking Minnesota -7.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know what explanation you would have used for Detroit staying within 7.5 points of the Minnesota Vikings.
Any given Sunday. No.
Yeah. I mean, they have played a lot of close games this year, but I just don't see how this Detroit team is gonna move forward. Dan Campbell's calling plays now. Like, he took that away from Anthony Lynn, and he's the one calling the offensive plays now.
47 bite kneecaps, jet sweep.
Right. One thing we do know, the running backs are going to be out, or the starting running backs will be out for this game. I don't think DeAndre Swift has been officially ruled out. He has? Okay, all right. But Dan Campbell said the other day, you expect to see a lot of Jamal Williams in this one. And Alexander Madison, he had a pretty good game the last time they played the Lions because, Dalvin Cook was out again.
Well, here's the
Almost
thing.
went for
Dalvin
100
Cook just
yards.
doesn't like playing the Lions. He's not injury prone. He just really doesn't like playing in Detroit.
Yeah. 145 total yards for Alexander Madison the last time they played the Detroit Lions. I think that continues. I'm on Minnesota minus the 7.5. Chief, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the loss of Swift is bigger than Cook. Just Minnesota's got more weapons. They got the better quarterback. And I've been dreadful when picking the Lions. Although I think did I have them last week? I think they covered.
You did.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went against you guys at Chicago.
We all agreed on Buffalo. Each one of you disagreed with me on one game, one on the other, and undefeated.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day champion, no big deal. Gobble, gobble.
We'll give you an extra turkey leg for that.
I'll go with the Vikes. I'll stay with the Vikes.
All right, the Arizona Cardinals, they go to Chicago, and they are a 9-point favorite. Is there any chance in Hades that Chicago keeps this game close? Because I don't think there is. Kyler Murray coming back. Well, he's expected to play. DeAndre Hopkins returned to practice. We don't know if he's going to play either, but, at some point you have to put the guys back in there. But I don't care even if it's Colt McCoy again. Arizona's going to win this game. I'm taking Arizona minus the 9. Chief?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I think from what I've been reading, I thought Hopkins was going to play. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you're both on the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, we're both on Arizona.
Same thing. Taking Chicago has not worked out well for me. So
no, they burned me last week, so there's no shot.
Yeah.
So you're both on the Cardinals?
Yep.
I'm on the Cards.
Minus the 9.
Yep.
Chicago Bears plus the 9. 9 points is a lot of points to give. It's a ton of points to give on the road. Chicago football Bears. I don't care if.
All right.
I don't care if
that was weird. Why'd you do that? The Chicago football Bears.
I don't know. It felt like the thing to do.
Okay. All right. So Jeremy's on Chicago.
9 points is still a lot to give. I feel like both of these teams are going to be able to run on each other.
Okay.
The thing I like better than first of all, I want you to think about what you're going to say, or what you're both saying.
Yeah.
The over/under in this game is 43 flat, which means Vegas is telling you there's not going to be a lot of points. Why? Because it's outside, and there's at least a 20% chance Colt McCoy plays.
Okay.
I would have had this. To me, anything above a touchdown, I'm happy. With Chicago.
Yeah.
At home, I'm good.
Arizona is 6-0 on the road this year. Every game they've won on the road, they have won by more than 10 points. They are only the third team in NFL history to do that. I don't see any way that this doesn't
Does that make
continue.
it more or less likely?
Oh, I think it makes it more likely.
It exponentially less likely. Had he not said that, I would have felt a little uneasy. Since he said that, I might have to.
Yeah, that was my reaction. That was my reaction. I'm like, that makes it actually less likely.
I might need to make an irresponsibly large wager on the Chicago Bears.
Arizona's got one of the best defenses in the league. Chicago, one of the worst offenses. To me, everything spells out blowout in this game. So, yeah, I'm on Arizona minus the 9. Jeremy, you'll go against me and the Chief, and take Chicago plus the 9.
Another thing that you should know, it's going to be windy as all get out and cold. I don't like it. Arizona's one of those house cat teams. I don't really like you when you go outside because you don't know how to find your own food. Much like me. If I go outside, bad things happen. I am a house cat. I'm all over Chicago. This is one of my favorite games of the week.
All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are an 11-point favorite on the road at the Atlanta Falcons in another 1 o'clock start. Chief, we'll let you go first on this one.
11's a lot. 11's a lot. But I still feel good about the Bucs here. I really do.
Yeah.
And I just don't see Atlanta putting up the points.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Bucs.
I don't either. I'm on his side. You could play my soundbite if you'd like.
I'm not gonna.
Oh, come on.
I'm not gonna.
Come on. Tampa Bay minus the 11. Not close for me.
This is one of those that's right on the number for me. Like, I had this as an 11-point spread.
I mean, they're shifting Cordero Patterson around. He's playing defense now. He's listed on the safety depth chart
Which
now
is
for Atlanta.
insane.
He played one snap at safety last week, and
It's
they
like
put
the
him on
new
the
Bo
depth
Jackson
chart.
here.
And here's
He's going to
he-
start playing baseball.
And
soon.
he's stated all week like he has a goal now. Now that they know he can play safety, he wants to play safety just long enough to get an interception.
I actually think he could play hockey.
Maybe.
I think
Ever since
Cordero
I came
Patterson
in.
could do anything.
He's a great athlete.
He is insane. Oh, I hate this game so much. You know what? I'm going with you, and I don't want to.
All right.
Taking Tampa Bay, and I think I'm wrong.
Tampa Bay minus the 11 across the board. We will continue to pick the Week 13 games here on ESPN Asheville. Right after the break, we're playing Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zach. Brought to you by Clarissa Marshall of eXp Realty. Check her out at clarissasellswnc.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, after knocking on the door of records from 1970, it looks like we cool down slightly here into the weekend forecast, feeling a little more like the season. Our temperatures tonight down to 41 degrees with some 30s in the higher elevations. Mid-60s for Saturday, still well above average, but not as warm as today. And then even cooler for Sunday with high temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine, high winds, or mild breezes, blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Cyber Monday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
We've lost so many people to COVID. So many moms and dads, favorite uncles, older sisters, and best friends. But vaccines can help prevent serious illness and death from COVID in more than 9 out of 10 cases. So, now almost all COVID deaths are preventable, and so are the broken hearts they leave behind. We can do this. Find COVID vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Do you like to have fun? Are you looking for a fun working environment? Then you've got to come to Paramount Kia in Asheville and apply.
We are hiring technicians, sales consultants, and customer service agents.
Apply in person at Paramount Kia Asheville or apply online. Come join our team of fun.
There's something for everyone on Discovery Plus. The streaming home of ghostly freakouts, muscle car spinouts, and 90-day makeouts.
I'm really in love with her.
Start your free trial today for exclusive originals and a huge collection of favorites.
Whoa!
Then dive into nature docs, geek out with the family, and get your grub on.
I could eat this every day.
The streaming home of true crime, paranormal, food, home, nature, romance, plus so much more. Discovery Plus. Start your free trial. Terms apply.
Experience the magic at the region's #1 Christmas tradition. The Pinnacle Speedway and Lights at Bristol Motor Speedway. See almost 3 million lights on this enchanted voyage, where you can drive on the track and take in our newest attractions, like the Under the Sea Sing-Along experience and the Geico Holiday Lights Scavenger Hunt. Now through January 1st, every night from 6 to 10 p.m. Want to save time at the booth? Buy online at speedwayandlights.org.
It's Bristol, baby! Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Double IPA, Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343.
We're playing Beat the Chief here on ESPN Asheville. Go through each and every NFL game of the weekend. We are through 3 games here, so we gotta get on the stick here.
We got a whole hour.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll use the 4:00 hour to talk about college football.
You guys can actually rename this
episode. Wait.
Down the Chief.
Wait a minute. What?
I said you guys should actually rename this segment to Beat Down the Chief.
Beat Down the Chief.
That is what's happened this season.
Yeah, well, we don't want to send the wrong impression out there.
That is what it is.
There is no violence. There's no violence towards the Asheville Police Chief, David Zach.
We don't do crimes. We firmly believe in not doing crimes.
Beat the Chief, brought to you by Clarissa Marshall of eXp Realty. Check her out at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Indianapolis and Houston lock it up in a division battle. And the Colts are at one of the worst run-defending teams in the NFL, and they bring Jonathan Taylor along. How do you think this is going to work out? Oh, by the way, they beat them 31-3 the last time they played them this season. To me, this ain't close. It's Indianapolis playing for everything and wanting to bounce back from that tough loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. I'm on Indianapolis minus the 10. Solid lock.
Oh, this is not close.
Yeah.
This Houston Texan team is awful. Yeah, I'm on the Colts minus the 10.
Mm-hmm.
It literally this could have been 20, and I don't think I would have cared.
I'm with you. How about you
saying you don't believe in Tyrod Taylor? Is that what you're trying to?
Here's what I do believe. They lost to the Jets, and I have read nothing but, player blank, insert name here, there's about 7 of them, look so good against the Texans that they are a piece of our future. Or maybe the Texans are just really unbelievably god-awful at football.
Yep.
Which would be my theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to support that theory as well. So, yeah, definitely the Colts here. I thought this was one of the easier games of the week.
All right. Easy sweep there. Philadelphia takes on the New York Jets. They are back in the Meadowlands after last week's 13-7 loss to the Giants. Now they got to play the other team, and a team that doesn't defend well against the run as well. Philadelphia is going to continue that ground and pound game. Jeremy, it's your team. We let you pick first.
What's the line on this game?
7. Jets plus 7.
Why is it not 7.5?
Do it. Jets plus 7.
That just guaranteed I'm taking the Eagles. You're not stealing that Jets plus 7 thing from me.
Yeah.
Eagles minus 7.
All right.
Yeah, there's no way. Even if I believed it, I still wouldn't do it. Jets plus 7 will be something that I put in your obituary 60 years from now.
Yeah.
I will never take the Jets plus 7. Philadelphia.
Of course, this going back to the New England game earlier this year where I said, I think the Jets could win. Jets plus 7. And then they lost by 40. Chief, what do you think?
I don't catch up if I don't disagree, but this is not the game to disagree on.
No.
So, as much as I'd like to go the other way, I got to take the Eagles.
Yeah. The question.
Please do it.
No, not a chance.
For the same reason that I didn't, I really want you to do it.
Not a chance. Philadelphia Eagles. Interesting fact here. The only team the New York Jets have never beaten. You played them 11 times, and you are 0-11.
Do you know that I have heard that stat every 4th year for, I think, my entire life? This is the one team they've never beaten. Who cares? Man, I hope we win this game. Why couldn't it have been 7.5 or 8 or any number that wasn't 7?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to take my fun away from me. I do think this game's closer than a lot of people do.
I don't think it's going to be a massive blowout.
I don't think Philadelphia's all that good.
Nick Sirianni.
Well, they're not all that good.
Well, and Nick Sirianni can't stop. He can't help himself. Even if Miles Sanders plays in this game, inside the 20, you're not giving him the ball. So it's Boston Scott. I want to, but I'm sticking with what I said.
Yeah, no. The Eagles, since October the 24th, have ran for 1,078 yards. The Jets don't stop the run very well.
No, we don't.
So this is not going to go your way. The Los Angeles...
Hold on before you move off this. Philadelphia Eagle superfan and filled in with me during the fantasy football show a few weeks ago when you were not here.
Yep.
Justin Barton.
Yep.
I'm your huckleberry.
Said, hey, Sirianni, run the ball! I do that on our morning show, but there's another word inserted in there.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot insert that word on this show.
All you had to do was run the ball when you got inside the 10-yard line last week. And what did you do? You let Jalen Hurts pass the ball and threw an interception to the other team.
Seems wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems wrong.
Who are you, Pete Carroll? Jeez. Los Angeles Chargers take on the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is a 3-point spread. Vegas sees these two teams very, very close. And I'll be honest with you, offensively speaking, I would say, yeah, they are pretty close. But Los Angeles has that one fatal flaw that is going to bite them.
They can't stop the run.
Several times this week. I'm not the DFS guy. I don't care how much Joe Mixon costs.
$11 jillion.
But
Saber.
Number one on the board, Joe Mixon. 4 multi-touchdown games in a row. He's going to continue it this week against the Los Angeles Chargers. I got the Cincinnati Bengals -3. Chief, what do you think?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Despite the fact that I love the Chargers uniforms, it's just not enough. Which I think is like the nicest looking uniform in the league.
Oh, you think the Chargers uniforms are nicer than the Bengals?
Markedly.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
not even close.
I'm just
The Chargers have one of the best uniforms in sports.
The Bengals have awesome uniforms,
and
though.
they're fine. Yeah, but
I don't like
this
the
is the
Bengals
Chargers.
uniforms.
Really?
No, I do
You're
not.
You're not wild about the stripes?
I am not wild about the stripes.
Okay.
But the Chargers, that uniform is, like you say, I think
Oh,
it's
it's
one of
spot
the
on.
best in sport.
Spot on, yeah. I got Cincinnati -3. Chief, you're going the same way?
Bengals, yeah.
What do you say, Jeremy?
You know where I'm headed with this. I am a reformed Bengal hater,
Mm-hmm.
and here we are. So Cincinnati Bengals -3. I think this line's stupid. I think they missed this by 2.5 full points. I had this as Cincinnati -5.5.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost into Stone Cold Lock territory for me. When it's over a field goal, that's when Jeremy gets aggressive.
It would have had to have
We
gone.
have one of those later.
It would have had to have gone over a touchdown for me to go the other way.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Yeah. But at 3, I think it's easy. New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins. Giants going down to South Beach. Tua Tagovailoa playing better. The Giants can't get anything going offensively. Jeremy, you want to kick off this one?
No, I don't.
You don't. You don't.
What do you have this number at?
Miami 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's not right either. You're missing that line by an aggressive amount.
Miami minus
like
2.5.
You're at least 3 points off that line. The consensus is 6.5.
6.5.
I have not seen this below 5 yet.
Really?
No.
I saw 4.5.
I did that thing.
Yeah,
I did that
4.5.
thing. I did that thing where I read the open.
I was about to say, I don't know what it is, but I can tell you what it's not. It is not that.
Okay, excuse me. It went up to, it opened at minus 2.5. It's now at minus 6.
Yeah, I am on I'm taking the New York Giants minus the 6. Or plus the 6, excuse me.
New York Giants plus the 6 with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I don't care. I really don't think Daniel Jones is actually that, or I don't think Daniel Jones is that much better than Mike Glennon. And what I will tell you is with hillbilly hand fishing, you are going to see every running back that has ever put on a Giants uniform. You might see Tiki Barber play in this game because they are going to run the ball about 906 times. I think that I'm all over the under. The over-under in this game is 40. What does that tell you? What receiver really scares you for the Miami Dolphins?
Jalen Waddle.
They're going to double him, so you will see a safety over the top, and then he will get whoever the second corner is, and James Bradbury will be on Mike Gesicki. I do not think this is as good a matchup as people think it is. I'm taking the Giants.
Okay.
I need a definition.
A definition.
Hillbilly what was it?
Hillbilly hand fishing? That's Freddie Kitchens. That is my loving nickname for Freddie Kitchens from his time as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Because he looks like when he got fired, he should have gotten a network deal to host his own television show of hillbilly hand fishing. That's where you just reach into a creek and grab fish out with your bare hands.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
He's like, I don't understand the southern stuff y'all do.
By the way,
why don't you just use a hook?
I haven't been down here long enough yet. I will be, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Could
take
you,
you.
Could you guys take me?
No, we could not take you, but I know a feller.
Can you promise to never change your accent like Brian Kelly did at the
Oh my
LSU game?
gosh.
I don't think I could if I wanted to.
Have you
That's
heard
great.
this?
No, I am not.
He can't hear it.
Play it for him. I'll turn the mics off while you play it so he can hear it.
All right, hold on. So Brian Kelly went to LSU, obviously. Takes the job, does a press or the halftime, and he comes out and says this.
LSU. Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started, and I haven't even won all my games yet. It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family and LSU.
My family.
I swear to you, if you told me Brian Kelly was imitating me, I'd believe it.
Yeah.
That is Brian Kelly's imitation of me.
Mm-hmm. And Brian Kelly's from Massachusetts.
I laughed at that when I heard it until it physically hurt me, because I know people that do that, and when they do it to me, I start noticing it, because obviously I have quite the little drawl.
A little bit.
And if there are just a select few people that when I talk to them over the course of time, they start to talk more and more like this, and I find it to be hilarious.
Well, I tried it once. I tried to, put a little Southern in and I was asked to stop.
Yeah, don't do that.
They said, don't do
that.
Don't do that.
Of all the things you can do, don't do that.
Yeah, don't go up there for your yearly address for the Asheville, state of the Asheville Police Department address and go, "Hi, y'all. It's good to be in Asheville."
Actually, those guys would kick my ass if I tried that.
Yeah, they would.
You could also, we don't do politics on this show, but you could also call that Hillary Clinton.
I did not want to go there. I did not, but that was what immediately came to mind.
I ain't always tired. Okay, how you made it to the final ballot? I have no clue.
Never understand.
People already don't know what I'm talking about half the time with my accent, so there's no point to confuse everybody further.
All right, so Miami, New York Giants. Where
Miami's red hot. Miami.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Miami is Tua has come around. This offense is clicking. You got no kind of life out of the New York Giants offense last week with hillbilly handfishing taking over the play calling. Saquon Barkley still can't run. I'm out.
Hey, did they win?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Philadelphia better than Miami?
I don't know.
It's very close.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's very close.
I thought Miami gave up weeks ago, and they've really impressed me.
They've turned it around. The defense is playing a lot better.
Oh, and by the way, I never said the Giants were going to win this game.
No, you didn't.
I said there's going to be I'm taking the under on 40. That should tell you everything you need to know about how I feel this is going to go.
Yep. All right, so the Chief and I are on the Miami -6, and Jeremy's taking the Giants plus the 6. The Washington football team takes on the Las Vegas Raiders, Jeremy's darling team.
They're not necessarily my darling team. They're just a team that you have thrown a lot of derision at, which I did not feel was ever merited.
How do you think this game goes? You got the passing game. To me, this is how it breaks down. You got the high-flying passing game of the Las Vegas Raiders. I think, Deshaun Jackson gives them a little bit extra downfield target, opens up the offense a little bit, but then you got Washington, who is dedicated to running the ball now against a team that can't really stop the run.
I'm taking Washington. Taking Washington.
Washington plus the 1.
Do you know how much? Do you know what the money split on this game is?
What's that?
There are more tickets on the Raiders than there are on the football team. 87% of the money's on Washington, which means all of the smart money, all of it, not part of it, not some of it, all of it.
And there's a reason for that.
I think the Raiders are better.
I'd say so.
But this is one of those times that it is hitting me in the face of, and I have one of these games every week where the Vegas guys say, don't do it, and this is the one. And this week, I'm going to listen. Washington plus the 1.
I thought we were really going to split hairs on this one, but we're not going to, because I'm on Washington football team plus the 1 as well. In the last 3 weeks, Antonio Gibson has had 72 touches. They have committed to running the ball with him, and I think it's only going to continue against Las Vegas. I think it's going to be a close game. Obviously, the spread's only 1 point.
Where's
but
this
game?
Game? This game's in
Washington? I think the football team wins it. It's in Vegas. I think a Washington football team wins it outright.
Vegas -1?
Yep.
Oh, this is one that he's sitting there going,
I can pick up a game. I can pick up a game.
I got to try and get one back. I don't love it, but I got to try and get one back. I'll go Vegas.
I don't hate it. Had I not gotten that little tidbit of information, and basically every bettor I know going, it's Washington, don't do this wrong, I would be there with you, because I think Vegas is markedly better.
Yeah,
but there is something.
Better quarterback.
Anytime you see, look, I'm gonna give you an old bettor's trick. Always check that number before you bet something, because bettors know infinitely earlier than random fans do when something weird is happening. And that's telling me there is something weird. Darren Waller's not going to play.
Right.
Something that we don't currently know definitively, the betting public knows. So I could be totally. I think the Vegas Raiders are a touchdown better team than Washington.
Didn't this start higher though? Didn't it start about 2.5?
It did.
Yeah,
It has certainly come down, and I wish it was still 3.
I'll take the Raiders.
All right. We are split on that one. Jeremy and I both on the football team. Chief Zach trying to get one back, going with the Las Vegas Raiders. The Jacksonville Jaguars are at the L.A. Rams. The Rams have been struggling. They're on a 3-game slide. Matthew Stafford continues to turn the ball over. He's had, 6 turnovers in the last 3 weeks.
He's got to be hurt.
He's not been good. They're just they're missing some groove in this Sean McVay offense, and I think this is, even though they're struggling, they're not going to have a problem with Jacksonville. And I also look for Jalen Ramsey to have a big week with the revenge game narrative. I'm on the Rams to cover the big spread, -13 at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You agree, Chief Zach?
Yeah, and I got to believe at some point the Miller Beckham additions make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were going to, it's got to start showing this week. And so I think that those two show up. They do make a difference this week and justify the moves that the front office made. If not, you got to question it the other way. Like, have they really ruined that team chemistry somehow?
Right.
So I think there's going to be a big effort, and if they've got to snap the 3-game, and it's a pretty good time to get well against the Jags.
No doubt.
The Jalen Ramsey side of this plays a lot for me. The fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars are absolutely abhorrently bad at football, and it's on the road. Now, you're talking about cross-country travel. There's just nothing really to like here.
Mm-hmm.
LA
-13. Another one across the board. The Ravens take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one's in Pittsburgh. So, you know, these teams, it's tough every time these teams get together. You know, that whole cliche of you can throw out the record books because of the rivalry. Yeah, you really can.
Yeah, you can, but
you shouldn't hear. But you should not hear.
You can throw it out, but you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are 2-1 Baltimore to Pittsburgh. So it's literally a 66-33 split.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the money is?
It's got to be 93% of the money.
You're too low. It's 96. It's 96 to 4. Because what people are doing, you're seeing a little bit of action on Pittsburgh in the money line because they think they're getting a value. You're not. You're not.
It's the hook. It's the hook that gets everybody -3.5 for Baltimore.
It doesn't do it for me.
No.
It doesn't do it for me.
Mm-mm.
Because I had this at – you remember earlier when I said there was a game where we do have the field goal? I have this at 7.5. I don't care where they play. If they play this in Baltimore, for me, it's 10.5. It's in Pittsburgh. Ooh, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I get Lamar Jackson, who can score points, not at will, but he just had the worst game he's going to have all year. And now you're going up against a hurt defense, a listless offense that's coming off just getting smoked by the Bengals. Do I think they're that bad? No. And I don't really think this is going to be a blowout. This has, the over-under is 44. I'm on the under. This has 24 to 14 written all over it to me. 24-10, somewhere in that range.
Yep.
I'm on the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm on at least a 2-score spread in this one. It wasn't even close to me when I saw the 3.5. I mean, the Steelers have been abhorrent against the run over the last month, giving up 180.5 yards per game in the run game. And Baltimore loves to do that. So why would I be on the Steelers? What do you think, Chief?
I was very early on tempted to take the Steelers in this one. For the reasons you guys pointed out, it's the interdivision game.
Mm-hmm.
Throw out the record books. These teams play each other tough every single time. But yeah, I just, as badly as I want to take the Steelers at home, no, I just can't see it this week.
Yeah. Since 2018, in the month of December, the Ravens are 13-2. They've only lost 2 games in 3 years in the month of December. The last one that they'd lost, though, was last year in that coronavirus delayed game against the Baltimore Ravens. I don't care. Baltimore should win this big. I'm on Baltimore minus the 3.5. San Francisco.
Oh, by the way, Darren Waller will not play this week. Came out about an hour ago.
Makes it even easier.
Yeah.
San Francisco's a 4.5-point favorite at the Seattle Seahawks. Do we really need to talk much about this game?
Hey, speaking of easy, this is about as easy as it gets because the Seattle Seahawks are boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just keep losing, Seattle. Because I'd love to have 2 top 5 picks at a draft we're going to be at.
Yep.
Seattle's, there is nothing to like about this team.
Nope.
Chief Zach, you haven't been around for, because I've mentioned this, I think this will be the 3rd time this week. Do you realize that the Seattle Seahawks average time of possession per game is 3 minutes per game less than any other team in the league?
I was not aware, but I was aware of the fact that last week they didn't throw to DK Metcalf till the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
And didn't even target him. And you're wondering what's happening there and just curious.
Their average time of possession per game is 24 minutes, and it's barely over 24 minutes.
Yeah. Last week it was only 18, which is frightening.
Which is insane.
They had the ball for 18 minutes.
I was watching that, and I was just like, what's happening here?
Why
is this so?
And here's another question. Why are we not flexing this game? Did we see that? Did we not see them a week ago in prime time? Why do we need to see the Seahawks again? Who cares? Flex this to 4 o'clock.
It is at 4 o'clock.
Oh, did they flex it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They flexed it. The primetime game this week is Denver and Kansas City.
Okay, good.
They flexed this.
For whatever reason, my list had not.
Yeah. They flexed this back to 4:25 and moved up moved back the Denver-Kansas City game. That's the Sunday night football game on NBC this week.
All right, since that's the case, and we'll pick the 2 primetime games after the break, but NFLweather.com, okay? Get your schedule right. I got a lot of things happening here, and I check the weather before we pick these games, and so if you have the time wrong, I don't know that.
All right, coming up after the break, we will give you Jeremy's picks, first set of picks, or how are you splitting this up? There ain't that many games this weekend in college football.
They're all at the end.
Oh, you're doing them all at the end.
We're all at the end.
All right, so we'll do all of the picks at the end. Only one green on green today. I apologize for not ironing that out before we got on the air. But anyway, when we come back,
it's real hard to get me revved up about. I'm taking Appalachian State minus the. I don't have that in me today.
In the championship game, yeah.
I look forward to that though.
So we'll do green on green coming up at the end of the program. Coming up next, we will pick the primetime games continuing to play. Beat the Chief here on ESPN Asheville in the Sportsocracy with Asheville Police Chief David Zach. And, of course, it's always brought to you by Clarissa Marshall of eXp Realty. Check her out at clarissasellswnc.com.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
There's something for everyone on Discovery Plus. The streaming home of ghostly freakouts, muscle car spinouts, and 90-day makeouts.
I'm really in love with her.
Start your free trial today for exclusive originals and a huge collection of favorites.
Whoa!
Then dive into nature docs, geek out with the family, and get your grub on.
I could eat this every day.
The streaming home of true crime, paranormal, food, home, nature, romance, plus so much more. Discovery Plus. Start your free trial. Terms apply.
Hey parents, here's some good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are now eligible for a COVID vaccine. That means all those future CEOs and artists, world-class chefs and sports stars, the engineers and the innovators are eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. And it's specifically formulated just for them. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
When the kids turn unholy, Harrelson's Own keeps my patience divine.
Life can be chaotic, but Harrelson's Own CBD helps keep you calm through any storm. We make every bottle of Harrelson's Own from 100% organic CBD, hand-harvested right from the farm. Our nano-emulsified technology makes it so your body absorbs it immediately. So you start to feel it in seconds, not 60 minutes. It's actually one of the fastest-acting CBDs on the market today. Some people take it for general well-being. For me, it just makes everything about my day a little better.
It helps me relax. It helps me be there with my kids. Give your life a boost.
So to sum it all up, you're going to feel the benefits quickly, love the way it feels, pay a fair price, and you're going to thank us for it. Give Harrelson's Own a try, from our family to yours. Go to harrelsoncbd.com to order yours now. harrelsoncbd.com.
BC Powder knows life pushes us to the max. Work to the max. Family to the max. It can all mean pain to the max. So BC introduces new BC Max Strength. New BC Max relieves tough headaches and body pain at the speed of powder. Nothing stronger on pain without a prescription. Pain to the max? New BC Max. In a great tasting lemonade flavor.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it, they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You know what? I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to give it to you 3 times in one game. Or one show.
60% of the time. Works every time.
We're still playing Beat the Chief here with Asheville Police Chief David Zach on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and of course, seen everywhere on YouTube and heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Just go to thesportsocracy.com and join in the video fun. Subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat as well. We got the 2 primetime games left to pick. Sunday Night Football this week. Yes, this game was flexed. The Kansas City Chiefs at home against the Denver Broncos. It is a 10-point spread. And that's a lot. It's a lot of points. And I don't know what I want to do with it. Part of me wants to take the Denver Broncos. And the other part of me wants to believe that this turnaround for the Kansas City Chiefs is absolutely real. I see the way
it would make you feel better if I did it.
I mean, you can pick first if you want.
Denver Broncos. This line's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't care if Kansas City covers it. This line's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing against. Do you realize the last time that Teddy Bridgewater turned the ball over was in week 7?
Really?
This is not a guy that's going to beat himself.
Mm-hmm.
This defense didn't magically get good all of a sudden. Javonte Williams is going to be fine. They will run the ball decently well. I'm aggressively on the under 47. This number's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one that's more than a field goal away from where I have the number. Because what you said, it's 10?
It's 10.
I've got it at 7 on the nose. If I had been on if I was either side of a touchdown, I was aggressively going to be on that side.
Mm-hmm.
I am. What is up with my headphones today? That's the second time they've fallen off my head.
I don't know. Maybe your hair's getting too long. It's pushing them off.
It is. Oh, my hat's on forward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everything's all,
I knew you looked different.
Everything's all cattywampus with
not
my hat
wearing
on
the
forward.
backwards hat.
I put it on the last time I put this hat on this way, half of my hair stuck out the little hole.
Oh, it was hilarious.
It was way more comfortable.
You looked like you
really need to figure out how all of those things work.
You looked like you were getting ready to climb up on somebody's roof for some reason.
I mean, I look like that a lot, but I don't do that ever. So
Scared of ladders is Jeremy Greene.
heights, ladders, anything that goes up high that does not have something to hold you nicely in it. I look like somebody that could fix some things and can't in any way.
Yeah.
But I can fix this. Broncos, plus 10.
Broncos plus the 10. I'm gonna go with him. I got to go with you on this. I originally wrote down Denver plus 10. I kept thinking about it, and the Broncos are good at causing turnovers. They keep teams out of the red zone. Patrick Mahomes and company, they could hit a couple of big ones down the field, but I'm just not sure that I'm all the way back with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll go with Jeremy on this one. Denver plus the 10. Chief?
I agree with you both. I mean, Kansas City, I believe, is back, and I believe Flair coming back they didn't use him much last week, I don't think.
No.
But I think he will make a bigger difference this week. Coming in, I was taking Denver, but by virtue of the fact that you both did, I'm taking Kansas City. I've got to gain ground here.
This is the new game plan. When they're uncertain, we just go the other way.
Yep, just go the other way.
Brilliant. Pulled the old switcheroo on us. Okay.
Which will just lead me further into the abyss of picks. So it is what it is.
I can't wait to hear what he's going to pick next.
Me?
No.
Oh.
And we've only got a minute for this.
Well, I mean, it's Monday Night Football, and it's the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. Let's go to the resident Bills fan, Chiefs at.
Big, huge shock here. I'm taking Buffalo. However, if New England gets that running game going early and Jones with the play action, where he's proven to be very, very effective, I'm nervous as hell about this game, but I'll take the Bills because I'm always in big trouble when I don't.
This is where New England gets exposed. They get behind, they get pounded. Buffalo, easy.
I'm with you guys. Buffalo minus the 2.5. That means we only have 4 games that we disagree on this week. We shall see how it goes. We'll keep you updated on all of it. Asheville Police Chief David Zach, thank you once again for joining us.
Really good to be here.
Even though I keep losing. That's what that translates into.
Losing horribly. Still really good to be here.
Beat the Chief, always brought to you by Clarissa Marshall of eXp Realty. Clarissa sells WNC.com. College football previews coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, after knocking on the door of records from 1970, it looks like we cool down slightly here into the weekend forecast, feeling a little more like the season. Our temperatures tonight down to 41 degrees with some 30s in the higher elevations. Mid-60s for Saturday, still well above average, but not as warm as today. And then even cooler for Sunday with high temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine. High winds or mild breezes. Blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
We're going to need to fire up the plow. The big one.
Forecast is 6 feet of snow and 66 new customers for Trin Snow Service.
Hey, Terry.
She needs more drivers before business melts away.
What do you mean Dee can't drive? I thought he was certified.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hear that? Sounds like sizzling bacon, right? Trust me, it looks like bacon too, only it's not. It's Johnsonville sausage strips. Strips of sausage in amazing flavors like maple and chorizo. You're probably thinking, whoa, wait a minute. Where do I get my hands on this meaty miracle? At the grocery store. Buy the bacon. Even though it's sausage. Whoa.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Only 8 months after signing a 3-year contract extension, Maryland basketball coach Mark Turgeon is stepping down. The school is calling it a mutual decision. The Terps went to 5 NCAA tournaments in the last 7 seasons. Assistant Danny Manning takes over as interim coach. Championship Saturday coming up tomorrow. In the Big Ten title game in Indianapolis, number 2 Michigan and 13th ranked Iowa. ESPN's Keyshawn Johnson is predicting the upset.
Michigan is overhyped because they beat Ohio State in a hostile environment on a snowy day. It was going to come at some point in time for Harbaugh and company. They did it, but I think Michigan falls to the Iowa Hawkeyes, put a monkey wrench in that Final Four.
Keyshawn Johnson on Key J and Max. Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray will be a game-time decision for Sunday's game against the Bears. He's been out since Week 8 with a high left ankle sprain. Vikings running back Dalvin Cook is out for Sunday's game against the Lions. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Cook will likely miss 2 weeks with a dislocated shoulder.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Cyber Monday event with savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more. Plus, free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
And welcome back into the Ingles studio here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app is the Sportsocracy, and seen everywhere on YouTube.com. YouTube.com/The Sportsocracy, or just go to thesportsocracy.com and click on the live video link. Hit that subscribe button, share it out with your friends as well. And we encourage everybody to join the House of Reprehensibles. Get your super chats in. This is the last day that the super chat revenue will be going to.
It's not the last day.
Oh, it's not?
It'll be for the whole month. It'll just be on a.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see. That's
here's the thing.
What you get when you don't share things with your host.
Well, I already told you that once, but you weren't listening. Mainly because I've been talking about a lot of things over the course of the last few days. So it's been an aggressive few days.
So get those super chats in, and yes, proceeds from those will be going to the Eblin St. Nicholas Project as well. Toy drive going on at the Ingles on Smoky Park Highway as we speak. They'll be out there until 9 o'clock tonight, and of course until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon when it all wraps up. They've got the stage set out there, live music this evening and tomorrow. Go out and take them a toy donation. You can, for every $10 donation, or for at least a $10 donation, they will give you a free car wash from Zips Car Wash. You can also enter into a drawing for Ingles Gas and Groceries for a year, and also you can get entered into the contest for car washes from Zips for a year as well. Ingles on Smoky Park Highway. Go by and drop off a toy for the Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive benefiting Eblin Charities St. Nicholas Project. We have a huge weekend this weekend in college football. It's championship weekend. All eyes on the SEC championship game. That is the one with the most CFP implications, because if you have Georgia lay an egg against Nick Saban, who Kirby Smart has not been able to beat his old boss. He's 0-3 against him all time. And if they can't do that, then that means the SEC will have 2 teams in the college football playoff instead of possibly just having 1 team in the playoff.
And what's funny is I feel like people are just chalking this up. Like, oh, Georgia's going to run all over them, and this is not even going to be close. I don't agree with you. I really don't. And I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I could very easily – here's the thing. Stetson Bennett, at the end of the day, is still not a good quarterback. He's a very good game manager.
Mm-hmm.
This defense for Georgia is sweltering.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best college football defenses we've seen maybe ever,
Mm-hmm.
but certainly in the last 25 years.
Tennessee fans are like, not the one that shut out everybody every game that year. Back in 1913.
Yeah, that was more than 100 years ago. So I'm out on that. I just don't think this is not the layup everybody thinks it will be. if you remember the last time we thought these two teams playing in the SEC title game, oh, there's no doubt. Do you remember what happened?
Don't remind me.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Don't remind me. It's not a happy moment in my life.
That it would be when we were introduced to Mr. Tagovailoa.
Mm-hmm. Such a pain.
And I'm not telling you something like that's going to happen in this game. I just think these two teams are closer than anybody thinks. This is the best team Georgia's played all year by leaps and bounds. I mean, name me a team that Georgia's played all year that you think could even hang with Alabama. Hey, please say Clemson.
Florida.
Stop.
Florida, because they did.
Yeah, they didn't mean to. And I feel like a lot of people do exactly what you just did.
Mm-hmm.
The transitive property.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Florida kept it close with Alabama, so they're not good.
Yeah, and Georgia beat
LSU
crap
did.
out of Florida. And
well, here's the thing. When there is a skill to winning games like that. They should not have beaten Auburn, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part everybody leaves out of that. Well, they shouldn't have beaten Auburn, but they did.
But they did.
They could have lost to LSU, but they didn't. Anytime I hear people do that transitive property thing, that's the first thing I think of. That's all well and good that you want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
A, it very rarely ever works that way. B, you're leaving out the part that's the most important to me.
Right.
But you didn't. And so I think this is going to be a markedly better game than most people do. Yeah. 83% of the money is on Georgia.
And I think that's right. I think it's right.
Money line, I'll agree with you. Against the number, you're going to just have to hang out and see.
Hang out and see, because Jeremy will have his green on green picks coming up at the end of this hour. There's been a lot of talk about this game. Obviously, like I said, you know, if Alabama's able to come up with the win, then both these teams are guaranteed to be in the playoff. If Georgia wins, I think there's very little shot. I mean, there's going to have to be chaos elsewhere for Alabama to still make it as a 2-win team. And they know that. That's the thing. It's like I heard a lot of people talking about the pressure in this game. Who's the most pressure on?
It's Alabama.
You can't really close. To me, you can't really choose.
100% you can. It's not even close. It's Alabama. Georgia, it doesn't matter what happens this game. You lose by 50. Guess what? You still get in.
Oh, it 100% matters. To me, it 100% matters what happens in this game.
Because you're a Georgia fan.
Well, absolutely.
And, we got to get the monkey off our back. Oh, we got undefeated. I could argue it's better for you to lose this game.
I don't even kind of see how.
Let me explain it to you. Because then you've taken the loss. Now you don't have a month of, can Georgia do what the blah, 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 blah. Now the pressure's off of you. Now you come in this is how bad of a year it's been in college football. I think you could get trounced in this game and still be the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure they would put you in. I'm not sure that they would not find a way to keep you on the other side of Alabama, so maybe you drop down to the 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really buy that. It doesn't matter. Psychologically, you take a team like Georgia that's never, or it's been a very long time.
40 years.
Since they got to the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
If they win this game, and they win it in a walk, the next month is going to get really, really loud in Athens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the best team we've had. This is the best shot we've had. You have to avoid the letdown and the trap and the blah, 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 blah.
The number one path to Georgia winning a national championship this year and erasing the 40 years of futility, you have to win this game. You have to beat Alabama, and you have to make sure that Alabama cannot make the college football playoff. It's boots on next time. Like, you need to make sure that you make a statement in this game. Because if you don't, if you lose this game, then that means you're both in. And guess what? That means you're both in the national championship game, my opinion.
And see, to me, it's not. Again, you're doing that transitive property thing.
Mm-hmm.
This Alabama team is very good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not great.
There's
one great team in college football.
Mm-hmm.
There's one team that has very little in the way of deficiencies. The one thing we really haven't seen Georgia do is play from behind. And that is a fear that I have, because Alabama has. Alabama has played from behind markedly more than you think they have.
Mm-hmm.
That Auburn game, that's not the first time they've done that. They played dead in the Western with Florida for 3 3/4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
That team's seen adversity. This Georgia team hasn't.
Agreed.
And it makes me a little nervous. All right, so you keep Alabama out. Is Alabama really better than Michigan? I can tell you right now the Michigan defense is exponentially better. It's not more talented, it's better.
No, I don't believe that. This is about Nick Saban. This is about Alabama. He's got the loaded team.
And if that's the case, you've already been beaten. If you're so worried about Nick Saban and all of those, because none of it matters.
Have to.
Those are ancillary things that don't matter. Those are things that matter to people like us. That should not matter to Kirby Smart. Shouldn't matter to the players. That has nothing to do with you. In large part, it has not one thing to do with you. You are the best team on this field.
Mm-hmm.
If you come out and go, I don't care what happened last year. I don't care what happened 3 years ago. I don't care what's happened for the last 10 years. I don't care. We are the best team.
Mm-hmm.
We come in, we do what we do,
mm-hmm.
and the rest of it be damned. That is how you win this game. If you come in and go, oh, we got to beat Nick, you've already lost. It's already over. They have already beaten you because they are in your head.
Yeah. There's not one person in the Georgia program saying that. I feel pretty certain.
Saying it out loud or thinking it?
Saying it out loud.
No,
I know they're thinking it.
I don't care what you're saying
they're
out
all
loud.
thinking it.
I care what you're thinking.
Oh, they're all thinking it.
Well, then you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew that to be the case, then you're in trouble. I don't believe you are. I believe Georgia looks around and goes, you know what? We're better. We are better than you.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 first and second day defensive prospects. We just got George Pickens back. We've got a lot of things going for us. 2 draftable running backs, on and on and on and on. Every advantage outside of Nick Saban is on us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying coach doesn't matter. I'm not trying to. It's not in any way what I'm trying to say.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is inside the building, this has to be. I don't care what happened in 2018. This is us. This is this team,
mm-hmm.
and we are going to go take care of business.
Mm-hmm. And on the outside, every Georgia fan's looking at it going, when's it going to happen? When are we going to blow this thing?
Well, I mean, be really honest with yourself. How often? I mean, there are a lot of teams that do that. The Boston Red Sox did that for 80 years.
Yep.
You know why it kept happening? Because psychologically, you were beaten before you ever got there. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get out of that loser mentality. You are not Georgia of 1996 anymore. And if you don't stop thinking that way, you'll continue to be that until the end of time.
Right. It still exists. And I think there is major pressure on Georgia to win this game.
And see, I don't agree. I think it, and that's what I would be screaming. If I was Kirby Smart, I would be screaming it from the rooftop.
We don't have to win this game.
We are the only team in America that has no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
None. There is not one lick of pressure on us because no matter what we do, we are still in that playoff. So play loose, play free, play as you have.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at the stupid numbers on the side of the helmet. Don't look at the big A. Don't look at the elephant.
Yeah,
don't
Big
look
Al.
at any of those things. This is the number one, no doubt team in America. Play that way.
Mm-hmm. And they will. I feel like they will.
I'm not so sure of that.
Really?
I'll tell you at the end of the show.
Anyhow, Georgia, Alabama, it's got all the makings of another one for the ages.
Patrick Holt in our comments said a bad word that I can't say, but Jeremy made a baseball reference.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarre Friday. I'm going to say this again. It's not that I don't know baseball. It's that I don't like baseball. There is a difference. I can sit here and do a 2-hour show on baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And since no one tells us what to talk about, we don't.
One-sided CFP implications in 3 other conference championship games.
Did you just remember you had to attach Cincinnati to that?
I did. I just remembered that Cincinnati actually has to win their game against Houston, but there again, do you think that this game's going to be all that close? I'm sure it will be. I'm as sure that this game is going to be close, as sure as I was that the SMU game is going to be close. And how did that work out?
There is a stat in that Houston-Cincinnati game. You remember what I said about the Washington football team?
Mm-hmm.
When that much of the money is on one side, it tells me that Vegas knows something that I don't know. What do you think the money split in this game is?
All right, so the spread is 10.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say majority of the tickets, or you're talking about money.
I'm talking about both.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking what you think the layout on both.
Okay, I think the majority of the tickets will be on Cincinnati and the money, but I think it'll be like 65-35.
71% of the tickets are on Houston.
Really?
88% of the money is on Houston.
That's shocking.
Mm-hmm. Money line, 57% of the money's on Houston.
Huh.
I'm just telling you, there are a lot of smart people that are throwing a lot of money at Houston.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm looking at Dana Holgorsen, and I'm looking at that Cincinnati defense, and I'm going, they've cared about 2 games really all year. 3. You look past Indiana because you knew they weren't good, and you had Notre Dame coming up. You cared about SMU because that was the one team that could beat you, and you cared about this.
Mm-hmm.
But it is giving me a great cause for concern that many bettors are looking at this going, Houston, value of the week. I've been told that twice.
10.5 is a lot. In a championship game between 2 teams that have not lost a game within their own conference. Cincinnati's 12-0 overall. Obviously, they got the big win against Notre Dame that has got everybody convinced that they should be in this college football playoff. And then Houston's 11-1.
I've tried for the better part of 2 days to figure out why this is.
Why the money is the way it is?
I've tried. And I'm not sure that I've got this right, but I have a theory.
Okay.
I'll tell you what that theory is after this break.
Right here on ESPN Asheville, you are in the Sportsocracy. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, after knocking on the door of records from 1970, it looks like we cool down slightly here into the weekend forecast, feeling a little more like the season. Our temperatures tonight down to 41 degrees with some 30s in the higher elevations. Mid-60s for Saturday, still well above average, but not as warm as today. And then even cooler for Sunday with high temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound slow between exit 2 and exit 4A. 26 on the westbound side is slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow after Brevard Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. An accident reported here. Haywood County 40 westbound stop and go between Vines Creek Road and Harmondon Road. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Brevard Road east and westbound. Traffic is stop and go. Sweden Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine. High winds or mild breezes. Blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Hey parents, here's some good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are now eligible for a COVID vaccine. That means all those future CEOs and artists, world-class chefs and sports stars, the engineers and the innovators are eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. And it's specifically formulated just for them. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Friday Health Plans is designed for people who buy their own health insurance with benefits like unlimited $0 primary care and mental health visits in person and online. Financial aid available. Get a quote at FridayHealthPlans.com. All plans issued by Friday Health Plans of North Carolina, Inc.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Cyber Monday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
O'Reilly. This is Claudia's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
I had just moved to a new city and barely even knew where the grocery store was yet. When my car wouldn't start one morning, I didn't know who to ask about local shops. But I remembered a name from back home, O'Reilly Auto Parts. I called and they pointed me to a great mechanic just down the street. Now I feel a little more at home.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. You are in the Sportsocracy. The college football championship weekend is upon us. We have 10 FBS conference championships on the line. 4 of them have implications for the college football playoff ranking. We talked about Georgia and Alabama. We're talking about Cincinnati and Houston right now. And so, Jeremy, you think you've come up with why the majority of the money is on Houston in this game?
Because Houston's actually not bad. SMU, for better or worse, they can't stop anybody. All right, It's all well and good that you're very good offensively. They had a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to let Tanner Mordecai beat us, period. There are multiple ways that Houston can get you. They have a slew of running backs. Not all of them play a ton, but they have a ton of running backs. So if Cincinnati comes out with that same mentality that they did against SMU, they're going to run all over them. Because that was their goal. You can have whatever you want, run it. We don't really care.
Right.
You get your 4 yards in a cloud of dust, and eventually we're going to stop you. We'll get the ball back. We'll score on you, and you can't score on us. Houston's a little more multiple. Dana Holgorsen is, I think, a better coach. I'm not very high on Sonny Dykes, and I never have been. I know that's who TCU targeted. And if you remember when that SMU game came up, that was right about the time TCU fired Gary Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in the world knew that's who was taking the job. I kind of feel like Sonny Dykes got exposed in that. And look, I don't like Dana Holgorsen particularly as a coach. He's still not bad. And all of the same thing I just said about Cincinnati, or I just said about Georgia, applies to Cincinnati too. All of the pressure in this game is on you.
Of course.
There is no pressure on you. If Houston gets beat by 60 here, this is still a great year for you.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go to your little whatever bowl you go to, and away you go.
Yeah.
But what if you win? And you can preach that all week long. But what if we win? All of the pressure's on them. We can play loose. We can do anything. We can run trick plays. We can do anything we want to. Doesn't matter. If you get beat 55-3, no one will care. It will get mentioned in, hey, Cincinnati won 55-3. Who'd they beat? Houston. Moving on. Are they going to make the college football playoff? But if you beat them, now you're the team that kept them out. And it gives your whole season purpose.
Yep.
That is the only thing that makes even a vague amount of sense to me.
I would feel better about Houston's chances if they weren't playing in Cincinnati. That's the thing I don't like about the AAC championship game is that it gets played at the home stadiums.
And it's dumb. That's one of those things. One of the reasons that I have, and I know the playoff puts a lot into who wins these conferences and things like that. That's why I put no. Okay, so you want a home game. Whoop-de-doo.
Mm-hmm.
That does nothing for me. And I'm just telling you, there are only two things that have to happen for Cincinnati to not make this playoff, and neither of them are them losing this game.
Yeah.
Alabama has to win, and Oklahoma State has to win. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I think Cincinnati will win.
That's another part of this, potentially, is that Cincinnati may be coming into this thinking we have to put up style points.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like, and this is a very myopic reference, but it's the one I got. It's kind of like when you're irritated. All right, you pick up your little PlayStation controller and you go, I'm going to score 100 points on you. And you tend to get slaughtered.
Right.
Because you get more desperate. And there is a thought that Cincinnati may come out and not stick to the game plan because they think they have to put up style points. That leads to a lot more turnovers. And those are the only things that make even a vague amount of sense to me.
Yeah. I don't think you can get Cincinnati off their game plan for this one. It's going to be much like you said for Georgia. We are one of the top 4 teams in the country. Let's go out there and let's prove it. And I think they're going to. The Big Ten championship game, Michigan and Iowa.
I just have one request.
Yep.
Michigan, please don't lose this. Please do not lose this game. I really, really don't want to listen to Notre Dame is now the 4. I'd please. You can lock up one of these spots. All you have to do is win. Yep. I don't care if you win by a field goal as time expires. And I think they're going to. I think they're going to trounce Iowa.
I don't know about trounce them, but I will say I think they will be able to move the ball efficiently on the ground. You will probably see Cade McNamara make a couple of big plays that will keep the distance just enough to make it solid.
I would have felt differently about this if it was Wisconsin. Because Wisconsin looked like they had found something,
mm-hmm.
and then not so much. Iowa's still the same team that I always thought they were.
Right. Iowa's pretty good at they're always good up front, and that's where Michigan just beat the tar out of Ohio State. Was controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. I don't think they're going to be able to do that freely against Iowa. This is a nasty game to me. It makes me think Iowa might be a decent pick plus 11.
Iowa has played 2 teams that are not bad or worse.
Okay.
Bad or disappointing or worse. They lost them both. They played two games against teams that I currently have in the top 35 in America. They lost them both.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if Iowa was any other program and they didn't have Kirk Ferentz, we would look at this. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Iowa's schedule is borderline equivalent to Cincinnati's.
Yeah, kind of.
You've beaten no one.
Well, they beat Penn State, but that doesn't
Who's
look
7-5.
great. Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't look great.
They beat Iowa State. According to the Vegas rankings, Iowa schedule's in the backside of the 50s.
Mm-hmm. They beat Iowa State and Penn State. Those are the 2 best wins that they have all year. 2
grossly disappointing teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, Iowa State at the beginning of the year looked completely lost for some reason.
Right. But this is everything that they have been working for. This is everything Michigan's been working for. And they're just like Georgia. It's the same thing. You are a program that has not found a lot of success in recent years. I mean, you've kind of gotten to that edge, but then you can never get over the hump. Michigan finally got over one hump last week by just slaughtering Ohio State when I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No.
You might have saw Michigan winning close, but you didn't see them just outclassing Ohio State.
I have never been happier in my life that a tweet didn't send. Then there are a lot of people holding Michigan -1 tickets.
Yep.
That they might as well set on fire. Thank you so much for not sending.
You got this one coming up in Greene on Greene at the end of the hour?
I do.
Okay. All right. Michigan and Iowa. That's one of the other conference championship games that has playoff implications. And then there's the Big 12 championship. You got Oklahoma State going up against Baylor. And we'll talk about that right after we get weird. On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville. All right, Jeremy. I'm gonna let you go with the weird news here.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go. You give us some weird news.
An Italian man thought he had it all figured out.
Okay.
There are now vaccine mandates and all kinds of things in Italy, and he thought he had found a way to get past them. He went to the clinic, he rolled up his arm, and he told the worker there to do what she does.
Okay.
There's only one problem. His arm wasn't the same color as the rest of his body. Because it wasn't his arm. It was a fake mechanical arm that he had bought, or prosthetic arm he had bought off the internet. Boughten is not a word. Bought off the internet. She said, I had trouble when I couldn't find a vein. It was at that point that I realized that, no, that's not your arm. So I made him take his shirt off. And he had this complete device wrapped around him that was holding this arm in place while his was tucked into his shirt.
Oh, wow.
This is prosecutable. That's not a word.
Prosecutorial?
This can be prosecuted in Italy and is currently going through the legal process.
Really?
Yes. He bought a prosthetic arm online.
And we thought Antonio Brown was bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's going above and beyond to get away from something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dumbfounded by that. Like, how did you think that was... Have you never gotten a shot before? Do you not realize that they're going to try to find a vein in a plastic arm? Or rubber or whatever this thing was?
Yeah.
It was apparently very lifelike.
Well, it was going to have to be to get to the point where the nurse goes, I can't find a vein. Like, you're touching it. Can you not tell that it's...
Here would have been my... And maybe I'm being way too simplistic on this. Are you not going to think she's going to wonder something when she touches it and it's not warm? You know, people are pretty warm when they're alive.
Mm-hmm.
That arm is not. See, for me, this goes so much deeper. Like, he was sitting in his car with the heat running, going, just get it to the right temperature. But his hand on it, like, we're good. Just, okay.
Don't do crimes.
Just either get it or don't get it, but don't try to fake the system.
Right.
It's not that difficult.
Don't
do crimes.
Now, I don't know that crimes were committed in this scenario, but it does not look good. Houston police investigators have questioned Joel Osteen. You know Joel Osteen. He's the pastor of the big mega church down there in Houston. He's the televangelist. All right, so somebody called about a leaking toilet at the mega church. They called the plumber, and the plumber shows up. He's going to do the work. He realizes, oh gosh, this is bad. I'm going to have to start taking out some tiles, and I'm going to have to get into the insulation and all of this. And when he did, you know what he found? Inside the wall were bags and bags of cash hidden inside the wall of a bathroom at Joel Osteen's megachurch in Houston.
Lakewood Church. I'll go ahead and give you the name so you can stop calling it the megachurch.
Yeah, I don't.
It's called Lakewood Church.
I get it. I get it. Apparently, $600,000 in cash and checks had been stolen at one point from the safe of the church. And so they're wondering if it was like an inside job. Did somebody steal this cash and then stow it away somewhere? Or was this an inside job on the other side of, they had the money in the safe and they stuffed it in the wall to claim that that the money was stolen? There's a lot of different angles that you could go on this story.
Well, the first one doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you're going to steal something, why would you hide it in the wall of the building you stole it out of?
Have no idea.
I mean, look, we advocate on the show. Don't do crimes. But if you're going to do crimes, they should make at least a little bit of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't make even the vaguest bit of sense.
No, it does not make a bit of sense, but there are, like I say, there's an investigation going on right now. They're trying to figure out how this bag of cash and checks wound up inside the wall
that is very
of the
bizarre.
church bathroom. Something fishy going on around here.
I'm not seeing a crime, but I'm sensing a crime.
Yeah, whoever stole that money maybe hid it in the wall, but I don't know why you would do that. Just only to be found, 6 years later.
Stephen Tao said in our comments, that's the last place they'd look. That is the Rocky and Bullwinkle-list theory I have ever heard.
Right.
They will never look here.
I don't know why. All right, the Big 12 championship game. Oklahoma State taking on Baylor. This is playoff implications for both teams. Jeremy, do you still believe that if Baylor came up with the upset here that they would find themselves as a 2-loss champion in the championship? Playoff?
I feel like they're going to keep Cincinnati out if there is even the smallest way of explaining that.
Okay.
That being said, I really want Oklahoma State to win this. Let's just put it all to bed.
Mm-hmm. Leave no doubt.
Leave no doubt. I don't think Baylor can win this game.
I don't know that they can come up with enough big plays against that Oklahoma State defense.
Well, and you've got a lot of problems here. It's entirely possible that Jerry Bohannon's not going to play in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be on a backup quarterback. By the way, I don't know if you watched them last week. They looked rather listless against Texas Tech. I mean, there's money on Baylor, but I don't get it.
I mean, the spread for this game is 5.5 points, and maybe that's why. Or are you talking money line bets?
The money line is 2-1 on Baylor, which doesn't make any even kind of sense to me. I feel like a lot of times especially in college, there's a reason that I don't tend to give those numbers out on this show. I do it in the NFL because people that predominantly bet the NFL, they do this for a living.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say sharps, that tends to be people that do this for a living. In college, you get emotional attachments. You have people with a lot of money that went to schools and they want things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't make any sense to me. Oklahoma State does not have a prodigious offense.
No.
But they have a phenomenal defense.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're getting swayed by what happened in the Oklahoma game just because you're looking at the score, then you didn't watch it. Because there was a kickoff return for a touchdown. There was a bunch of weird things that happened in the first half. And then they didn't let Oklahoma score a touchdown in the second half. You think a backup quarterback at Baylor is going to do that?
I do not. I'm firmly on Oklahoma State. I'm firmly on the Mike Gundy bandwagon for this one.
Plus, he has a mullet. I mean, okay, that's guaranteed, no doubt, winner.
Yeah. Defense wins championships. It's never something I ever thought we would say about the Big 12, but that's kind of where we are this year.
We have one of these.
I'm your huckleberry.
Okay.
Matt, welcome to the House of Reprehensibles.
All right.
You are now a reprehensible as well.
Excellent. And you can join the House of Reprehensibles as well on the YouTube channel. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, and all you got to do is hit subscribe on the channel and then hit that little join button right by where it will say subscribed. And you get a cool little mug next to your name in the chat, and then this is actually the first week where we've had the mugs change colors because as you are the longevity of your membership, your mug changes colors. So it went from being a green mug for everybody to a red mug now.
Now it looks like the logo. Green is the new color, according to Google.
Aha. That's it. And I think each and every month your mug will change colors as long as you're a member.
Not every month, but many months.
Right. So, yes, there are playoff implications, I guess, for both teams, but I think for Baylor to get in, it would have to be a lot of other chaos, like Cincinnati would have to lose, Michigan would have to lose.
I think you were closer with Michigan than Cincinnati. I think you're undervaluing how badly the committee does not want them in. All right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, and this will tell me a little more about where you're at.
Okay.
All right, Baylor's 9.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a multitude of teams beat teams ahead of them in the ranking and jump a lot. Because typically, teams that have been in the top 10, that have beaten other teams in the top 10, that were ahead of them, when they beat them, they get to that point or higher. Oklahoma State's at 5. I feel like all of that was a very carefully laid plan.
Baylor.
It's real easy to explain away Oklahoma State. All right, they get in, they beat a top 10 team. That's a better win than Cincinnati has. You're out. Notre Dame went 11-1 and didn't really beat anybody.
Right.
So that's your best win. Their best win's better than yours. And we're done.
Yeah.
Baylor, on the other hand, you beat Oklahoma State. That's a top 5 win. All right, so just look at the teams in front of them. Ole Miss doesn't play. Ohio State doesn't play. Notre Dame doesn't play. They're going to jump every last one of them.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. You beat the top 5. You beat the 5 team in the country. You're going to beat 3 teams that are sitting at home.
Yep. And they'll at least be 5
at worst. So then the question becomes: all right, Cincinnati did play, but is Houston really going to be recognized as a great win? Because Houston's one of those, I feel like you could take it either way. You could say, well, they were 11-2. That's a fantastic win. Or you look at it and go, well, you haven't really beaten anybody. I can't tell you they would put Baylor in. I can tell you there would be a very long discussion about it.
Right. I feel like at this point, if Cincinnati wins, they're in. I know it's not that cut and dry.
Oh, it's certainly not that cut and dry.
But I feel like if they win, they're in. Because that would assume, I would also assume that Georgia, they win the SEC championship game, so Alabama drops out.
You're doing a lot of assuming.
I am. You have to do a lot of assuming. That's what this job is.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just, you said if they win, they're in. All right, Alabama beats Georgia. Now what happens? Bye, Cincinnati.
Why?
All Oklahoma State has to do is win.
True.
That's it. That's all they have to do.
But if Baylor wins, I think Cincinnati's still in.
And I'm not as convinced of that. I'm really not. And if it was Oklahoma, I would be dead convinced that they would get in. Baylor may not be enough of a draw to circumvent the backlash you're going to get.
Okay.
But and this is where my brain immediately went. All right, so if Oklahoma State's going to pass Cincinnati, which I definitively believe they will if they win.
Okay.
Oklahoma State wins. That is the team. You win, you're in.
I'd agree.
We have done this forever. You win a Power 5 conference, and you're in that 5-ish range. They're going to put you in.
You have one loss Power 5 conference champion. They're getting in.
Yes.
Over an undefeated AAC champion.
We have seen this a slew of times. So why is that theory different if they have 2 losses? We've never had this.
Because we've never had a two-win team or a 2-loss team make the college football playoff. 2 wins has always been the cutoff.
And so my argument would be, you're going to have something happen if you get to that point. You're going to have something happen that has never happened before. So you're setting a precedent to something. Would it not be better, especially with the super conferences coming? Especially because they cannot agree on expansion and all those things are not happening. Would it not be better to say it's better for a 2-loss major conference champion than a team that won 12 games and beat no one? That would be my argument.
Except Notre Dame, who will be ranked the number 6 team in the country. That's the one thing that's always kept Cincinnati in it. Without that, they're UTSA.
They're not quite that bad. And they also didn't get shellacked by North Texas.
Well, I know. But, I mean, throughout the season, up until that game, UTSA was undefeated. They were 10-0 or whatever.
11-0.
11-0, and they couldn't finish the job in the last game of the season. I get that. But without that Notre Dame win, everything's different for Cincinnati. They're not even in this discussion. They're like Coastal Carolina.
They would still be in this discussion. They started too high. This is the reason that I am just adamantly against preseason polls. because that is the reason they're here. I would argue that Notre Dame win is not why they're here. It's why they've stayed here. But I'm looking at what the committee's doing, going, oh, you were setting this up. You are walking right down this line of you are not going to let them in.
Other Power 5 Conference Championship games this weekend. We got, of course, the ACC Championship game in Charlotte. There are no playoff implications for that. There is a New Year's 6 game on the line, though. Spot in the Orange Bowl to the winner. Pittsburgh taking on Wake Forest. Again, yay.
This is a fantastic game if you're looking at draft-eligible quarterbacks.
And at how many points can be scored. Because this is Carolina, Pittsburgh, or Carolina, Wake Forest all over again.
Do you know what the over-under of this game is?
I'm going to guess it's 60.5.
You're 10 points too low. It's 71.5.
Wow, okay.
I genuinely think this game is going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think this will be fun to watch because there's going to be a bunch of points. I like Sam Hartman. I'm looking forward to watching Kenny Pickett in a big pressure game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had bet before the season that the ACC title game would be between the Pittsburgh Panthers and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, you would have made a lot of money.
Yes, you would have. The Pac-12 championship game is actually tonight at 8 o'clock on ABC. Number 10, Oregon. Number 17, Utah. Oregon looking for a little bit of revenge after Utah knocked them out of the championship talk. And now you go to the Rose Bowl. That's the best thing you got.
I wouldn't watch this game if they were playing it in my backyard.
You're just not interested.
No. But I do have a pick for that game. I didn't say I wouldn't wager this game. I said I wouldn't watch this game.
Right.
There is a big difference.
Mm-hmm. 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, Appalachian State, number 24, Louisiana. It's at Cajun Field, and the Mountaineers taking on the Raging Cajuns, who don't have a coach.
Well,
they got an interim. Coach. They got an interim coach, but they've lost Billy Napier. He's now in Florida. How can you not root for the local kids? How can you not root for the Appalachian State Mountaineers to go down there to Louisiana and give them a little gumbo to eat? You think they have the advantage? Oh, that pick's coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 Green on Green, championship style.
The last full college football pick segment of the season.
Right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 eastbound between exit 3 and exit 4A. An accident reported here. 240 westbound slow between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound delays between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between Bavard Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. Again, 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. In Haywood County, 40 westbound is crawling between Fines Creek Road and Harmon-Den Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road delays. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Festivals, football, the great outdoors. Some people say fall is the best time of the year. It may also be a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Experience the magic at the region's #1 Christmas tradition, the Pinnacle Speedway and Lights at Bristol Motor Speedway. See almost 3 million lights on this enchanted voyage, where you can drive on the track and take in our newest attractions, like the Under the Sea Sing-Along experience and the Geico Holiday Lights Scavenger Hunt. Now through January 1st, every night from 6 to 10 p.m. Want to save time at the booth? Buy online at speedwayandlights.org. It's Bristol, baby!
When the kids turn unholy, Harrelson's Own keeps my patience divine.
Life can be chaotic, but Harrelson's Own CBD helps keep you calm through any storm. We make every bottle of Harrelson's Own from 100% organic CBD, hand-harvested right from the farm. Our nano-emulsified technology makes it so your body absorbs it immediately. So you start to feel it in seconds, not 60 minutes. It's actually one of the fastest-acting CBDs on the market today. Some people take it for general well-being. For me, it just makes everything about my day a little better.
It helps me relax. It helps me be there with my kids. Give your life a boost.
So to sum it all up, you're going to feel the benefits quickly, love the way it feels, pay a fair price, and you're going to thank us for it. Give Harrelson's Own a try, from our family to yours. Go to harrelsonscbd.com to order yours now. harrelsonscbd.com.
It's the Black Friday sale at Mattress Warehouse. Save up to $1,000. Plus, get free next-day delivery on orders over $8.99. With their 1-year price guarantee, why shop anywhere else? Visit sleephappens.com for a store near you.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Cyber Monday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Doubled IPA, the Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
Office the closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's a championship week edition of Green on Green. This is the last full pick segment of the college football season, which means I'm going to have to start doing this with NFL games moving forward. First, the Appalachian State Mountaineers are a 3-point favorite taking on the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. With no Billy Napier, I'm Seacrest out on Louisiana. This is a team that has a bunch of guys that are going to be draft eligible, and I don't really think they care about winning this. With the coach gone, and look, I understand they care. I'm not trying to say that, they're just going to lay an egg. Appalachian State's markedly better now than they were at the beginning of the year. Louisiana's lost their coach. To me, that is a perfect recipe for this is not going to be particularly close. Give me App State -3. Oklahoma State's a 5.5-point favorite in the Big 12 title game against Baylor. Oklahoma State's defense is so good. And it's such a no-name defense that I do not see a way Baylor is going to be able to cover this. I don't see a way they're going to be able to win by any stretch of the imagination. I don't look for Jerry Bohannon of Baylor to play. If he does, he's going to be greatly limited. Baylor would need everything to go right to win this game. Going into it, there's a lot of things not going right. Give me the Cowboys and Mike Mullet Gundy -5.5. Pittsburgh is a 3.5-point favorite in the ACC championship game against Wake Forest. Let's face it, Wake Forest can't stop a nosebleed. That defense is brutally bad, and Kenny Pickett is going to carve them up into little teeny tiny pieces and take this team to the Orange Bowl. Pittsburgh's the better team. I think there's going to be a ton of points. I love the over. I can see this being 56-42. But give me Pittsburgh -3.5.
Underdog, 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 underdog.
Speed of lightning! Roar of thunder! The first one, the Oregon Ducks are a 2.5-point dog against Utah. I understand Utah shellacked them a few weeks ago. That's exactly why I like the Ducks. Oregon expected to lose Mario Cristobal. There were too many other jobs looking to hire him. He's still here. They're still more talented. Give me the Ducks +2.5. Houston is a 10.5-point dog against Cincinnati. I just have this funny feeling. I don't know why. Vegas has told me, take Houston, and I've heard heard it all week long. I'm taking the fighting skullet Dana Holgerson's. Give me Houston plus 10.5. And finally, Alabama's a 6.5-point dog against Georgia. This has been the season of chaos. It doesn't make any sense. I don't even know how it's going to happen. But roll tide. I'm taking Bama.
Wow.
Outright.
No way.
Outright.
Nah. Not going to happen this time. Georgia Bulldogs, you cannot allow Alabama to win this game. I still maintain you cannot do it.
The fact that every time we have talked about this, every time I have heard this, every time anybody affiliated with Georgia has said this, oh, we can't lose to Bama. That's the team that always beats us. You have a loser's mindset. I've watched this. I've read this book before. And I've heard this time and time and time again. One of the biggest things in sports is how you think about things going into it. All the pressure's on Georgia. There is a little pressure on Alabama because you're expected to make the playoff every year. At the end of the day, this is the first time you've been a dog in 11 What was it, 92 games?
Yeah.
Was the last time they were a dog?
Yep.
I feel like they're going to take that personally. You know, in the words of the great Michael Jordan, I've read this book. I've read it before. Anytime a wise old gambler once told me, anytime everybody's on one side, you go the other. You might not get them all right, but you're going to win more than you lose.
Yeah.
And this is one that I feel like 90% of the picture on Georgia. And at the end of the day, I still look at this and go, you haven't played an offense like this. I don't know what you look like against an offense like this. Tennessee is the probably closest you played. You struggled with them for a time. Now they couldn't stop you.
I was going to say they ended up blowing them out. So
this team has players. Tennessee does not have players like that. You have not played one single team that has players to this level.
Well, I agree with you. It's not going to be, Georgia's just going to come in here and lay the hammer down. No, that's not how this is going to go. It's not how it ever goes. You can never count out a Nick Saban team, and nobody's going to. Georgia wants this really, really, really badly.
And here's the problem. I get Bryce Young, you get Stetson Bennett.
Yep.
I get Nick Saban, you get Kirby Smart. It's going to be way more split, even though it's in Georgia, than people think. I see all of these things that are how I make picks, and I go, I think Georgia's better. I do. But I have a weird feeling you are going to come out and not look particularly – you're not going to look like that same impressive team that has just been bulldozing teams all year long. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see Georgia win this.
You can't get behind early.
You cannot get behind
early because you don't have the offensive firepower to come back. I mean, Jermaine Burton and guys, the receiving core is fine. George Pickens is back. He can make big plays, but you don't want this resting on the arm of the mailman.
You don't want this resting on Cowboy Hat Bennett.
All right, we will see how championship week falls out, whatever. We will see you back here on Monday here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, after knocking on the door of records from 1970, it looks like we cool down slightly here into the weekend forecast, feeling a little more like the season. Our temperatures tonight down to 41 degrees with some 30s in the higher elevations. Mid-60s for Saturday, still well above average, but not as warm as today. And then even cooler for Sunday with high temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Connect has big savings on the hottest holiday tech. Right now, a Lenovo IdeaPad 5e with Intel i7 processor is just $649.99. You save $250. In-store only. Offer ends 12/4. Limit 2 while supplies last. Staples Connect, the working and learning store.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 eastbound between exit 3 and exit 4A. An accident reported here. 240 westbound slow between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound delays between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between Brevard Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. Again, 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. In Haywood County, 40 westbound is crawling between Fines Creek Road and Harmon-Den Road. Sweeten Creek Road, north and south.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and